Hey everyone, it's Anna and welcome to my channel. Today's video is my TBR for the Seasonal Series Read-a-thon. The Readathon starts on March 20th and ends on June 20th. So we have 3 months to complete all of the challenges, which you can find in the document that I'm gonna link in the description box below. There are 25 challenges, and if you complete any of them you get points, as well as for other activities, but all of the information will be down below. I actually have the bingo board. There are bingo boards for each season in the document which you can download, and you pick one bingo board that you will be working with for this readathon, and I picked the spring one. The first book on my TBR is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and I've had this one on my TBR for more than 2 months now. I got this book for my birthday and I haven't picked it up since because I don't know. This book completes the challenge of reading a book with spring colors on the cover, as well as reading a book with green on the cover. I am the type of person who likes to go into a book not really knowing what it's about. So the only thing I know about this one is that it follows our main character, who is a female, and she is followed by 2 male characters. One of them is a prince and the other one is an assassin, and she doesn't know who of them is who. And that's basically all I know about that. The second book on my TBR covers the challenge of reading the first book in a series, and it's Caraval by Stephanie Garber. And again, I don't know much about this book. I'm excited to pick it up. I heard the sequel will be out in May, so I might even read the sequel during this readathon. We'll see. One of the challenges is actually to read a book from a middle grade series, and the one I picked is The Hidden Oracle by Riadathon. I've read his Percy Jackson and the Olympians series and Heroes of Olympus series, but I have not picked this one up yet. It's been out there for 2 years, I think, and I didn't get to it yet. So this book follows Apollo, the god Apollo, who has been turned into a 14-year-old teenage boy, and I guess has to face some challenges because of that. The next book on my TBR is The Queen's Rising by Rebecca Ross. This book covers the challenge of reading a book where there's only 1 book out in the series so far. And once again, I want to be surprised. I don't know what it's actually about. The only thing I know is that it's fantasy and that people have been loving it. And I mean, the cover is gorgeous and it has deckled edges. It's actually my first book with deckled edges. The next book on my TBR is actually the only one that's not a fantasy book. That might be because it actually covers the challenge of reading a book that's set in the real world. I guess The Hidden Oracle is set in our world, kind of, but this book definitely is set in our world, and it's After You by Jojo Moyes. This is the sequel to Me Before You, and back when I read Me Before You, I did not know there was going to be a sequel out. I was actually quite surprised to hear that there is a sequel. I still want to know what it's about. I really enjoyed the character Lou, and this one follows her after the events of the first book, obviously. I have actually been spoiled for one thing that happens in this book, and I'm not sure whether it's a major plot point or whether it's okay that I know that. We will see, but I imagine this one will be a little bit easier to read through, a little bit, you know, kind of a fluffy read compared to all of the other fantasy books I have in here. So the next challenge I will be covering is read a book from a series that has 1 new book coming out this year. So I decided to go with Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and I am so excited for this one, and it has been so hyped on Twitter. I've seen amazing fan art of this book already. Again, I don't really know what this one is about. On the back of the book it doesn't even really say. I'm so excited to find out what this one is about and whether it's just as good as the hype says it is. And the last book on my TBR is actually a little bit embarrassing. Not because it's not a good book, no, because it is a very good book, and because this book is actually one that I was so excited to read when it first came out, which is over a year ago. I loved this author, I loved the first book in the series, I adored the second book in the series, and now I have the third one. I've had it for over a year, and I didn't pick it up yet. I'm really bad with finishing things, like book series, TV shows. I'm so bad with finishing them. But it's time, and I really want to finish it. I really want to know what this one is about, and it's A Conjuring of Light by V. Schwab. If you follow me on Twitter or other social media, you probably know how crazy I am for V. Schwab, and that I did not pick this one up yet is, yeah, weird. In case you don't know what the first book is about, the first book follows Kel, who is an Antari, which means that he's one of the only 2 people left in the whole world who can travel between different Londons, which means 4 different worlds, and the worlds are centered around Londons. There is White London, Grey London, Red London, and Black London. Black London has fallen, it's basically dead. Grey London is kind of our version of London. There is no magic in Grey London. White London has magic, but it's quite corrupt. And Red London is thriving with magic. So we follow Kel, who gets himself in trouble because he likes to collect things, and one day he gets one thing that's trouble, basically, and he has to find a way to get out of it. And on that journey we meet Lila, who is a very kick-ass female character, and we also follow Rai, who is the prince in this book, and he's just adorable. So this is obviously the third book, and it's on my TBR so that I can complete the challenge of reading the last book in a series, as well as reading a book that's been on my shelves forever. And that's it for my TBR. I tried to keep it short and at the same time complete quite a few challenges. In case I get through my TBR quite fast, I probably will film an update video throughout the readathon because it's 3 months. Until then, I hope to see you back in another video. Bye!